He gets off the ground, like he just gets like a really good early off that, and I agree that his lane seems pretty solid. Then I can imagine you get like a really early Ags, which is the build we've seen on literally everyone, no matter what position the bounty is in, and wreck from there. Honestly, you have a couple of people here that are really weak to Ags. Sorry.
For sure. Yeah, and I mean, maybe that's how they break the game open a bit here, because I agree with you. I think the bounty has to be. We're starting to see more and more of him, I will admit. I'm not super convinced, but he's definitely a pick that can crush a game, right? 24th pick bounty hunter here, I believe, for BetBoom. Might be able to get it done for them. We'll have to see. The Timbersaw, though, is certainly very scary for Navi, right? I can't acknowledge one lane and praise it and not acknowledge the other. This Timbersaw pick can also kind of tear right through BetBoom, especially for the early game for Dahak. Let's see here if he takes the first points in the Soul Assumption. Not likely against Blaze, now that he's taken Timbershane.
I am interested in how the Hawk will also approach this game, right? Because he's the kind of player that has been famous, or infamous, I guess, for playing the Visage in a supporting role, like we've mentioned before, and like going for, like AC farming builds, for example, even Aura builds, I think we've seen him on, right? Rather than this like Orchid, Ags, or the more protagonist builds that some Visages do. He's okay with being the side character. And I wonder what his read on the game is. Because I remember when we asked him about Visage versus Medusa, I don't know if you were in that interview, but he said that he didn't really think the Medusa countered Visage as much as people thought. And then it was just about adapting your build a little bit. And that it was actually kind of a bait, the Medusa.
Yeah.
Like they just knew the Medusa was going to get picked and they thought it was not good.
I might have been there. I don't remember. But I feel like that's what any, hero spammer is going to tell you, right? No. You just have to play with matchup, right? And then I'm sure it's easy.
No, because he told us about other heroes that he thought were good against the Visage. Like he hates playing it, right? Like he's the good kind of hero spammer, not the cocky hero spammer. The Hawk is the what's centered, like the hardworking hero spammer, right?
The Ayn Rand hero spammer?
No. Nope. No. Definitely not that. Anything but that.
He's got the whole game on his shoulders here.
No, if anything, the Hawk is Fountainhead, Ayn Rand. Definitely not Atlas Shrugged. Definitely not Atlas Shrugged.
Oh, could be. Yeah, definitely could be there. All right.
That was the deep end. Yeah. Okay, they're going to run. Yeah, they're going to find the lane. Obviously, the Hawk tried to avoid the Timbersaw lane. I definitely think that's worse. And they wanted to put Bounty versus Timbersaw, because Bounty versus Timbersaw is a really easy matchup, right? Just steal gold from Timbersaw and ignore him as a hero.
Yeah, and that means it's going to be then Tsuneko and Natus together, where I certainly thought they would have the Marcy in this matchup, to be completely honest. But that's not the case here. Suppose you don't want double melee into a Bristleback might be the ideology, and I'd say that's solid thinking. However, I do think that there is some pretty easy first blood potential with even just like a Marcy sticking around here until level 2, and then you kick her out. But I don't know. Maybe that's not the right ideology. Maybe they ought to focus a bit more here on actually getting experience on these heroes. As Tsuneko almost got body blocked by creeps there. Would have been embarrassing to die the maiden right clicks.
Yeah, that would be extremely embarrassing. Go, Solo. Look at him go. Yes, Solo. Keep at it.
Yeah, I mean,
look at him go, hitting Tsuneko down.
At least Tsuneko doesn't have that damage block, so I mean, it's starting to, add up slightly until you use a tango.
And in the bottom lane, he's actually in trouble. The Hawk did go for the Soul Assumption.
They did. Yeah, maybe he's changed up his build since the last time I did a deep dive on him. Which
I mean, it seems like a good
major
lane to go Soul Assumption for. So, like with the Marcy, mind you. Solo has been slowed, noticed, continuing the Janata hits, but he's like, all right, there's only so much I can do. Janata sure can toss. That's it. That's my impact in the lane.
Yeah, there's another Janata. Secured last hits. He would like to steal some more money from Batoon. Secures the range last hits. Oh, got to be a little careful, though. Doesn't want to go for that deny. That maybe won't kill him, but would be extremely painful. At least not with the level 1 Quill Spray. One armor for Phoenix. So if Gilliger can actually get on top of him, this becomes a very, very painful matchup. For Phoenix, obviously. Not super enjoyable.
I'm also curious as to how this mid lane matchup goes. Like, no one seems to just really know how to deal with Kato, right? I don't think that Tiny is that good against Kato. I know theoretically is decent. And mind you, in the mid game, he burst him down so perfectly. But this lane, he has 15 last hits, so Kato's 10. It's actually looking really good for him.
Yeah, it's a good point. The forward denies, right, I think show a bit of a mastery in this matchup especially. To just point out one stat in particular. We'll watch a little bit. I do think this gets slightly easier for Laurel. Tiny, definitely with the early
Same.
durability, where he can just like tank, level 1, even a couple of level 2, not blinding lights, illuminates. But I believe this does become quite untenable for him as the lane progresses and as Laurel gets just more experience. Perhaps level 3 illuminate is going to be a bit of a turning point. They did heavily adjust it. It was overall nerfed in 731D, right? They rescaled it by a bit, and I guess if you're going to really see this exacerbate on any specific hero matchup, it would be like these tanky strength heroes.
Yeah, you're right. I feel like something no one does is really good that I want to point out is he understands that Coddle's rune control is bad. Not because he can't reach the runes before other heroes, as Sweden is strong. No, he has a
He's got a curse dive. Yeah, he's okay.
It's not because Coddle doesn't reach the runes, right? But it's because it's a waste of time for Coddle. He can just be stacking camps for himself or amplifying his farm, right? So he usually does not go for runes. And both matchups, he's actually abused it by taking the enemy bounty rune on Coco and on Tiny, right? So I think that's also part of the key part of the matchup. Because that allows you to also spam more spells. You can then shove wave easier. And that helps you deal with this Coddle constant illuminate, right? He also has knock on for bracers. He's just trying to avoid the blast as opposed to trying to tank him, like we've seen some Sankings, for example, do in the past.
Yeah, and over top lane, notices not having a super easy timing lane. He is kind of getting zoned a bit from the creep wave, but he's got Ring of Health. He's about to have a full magic wand, so he can go for a little bit of a skirmish here. But plenty of regen here naturally on the bounty hunter. 20 total with a tango, which only gives you, what, the 9? So lots of regen here with the Ring of Health. So it'll be okay, but you can see it's not really the pop-off kind of lane like I was hoping it would be for the last pick bounty hunter. So this might not be incredibly strong of a start here for this off lane that, of course, has switched over to the safe lane for BetBoom.
Toon. And the top lane is doing okay in terms of losses. I'm curious about the net worth, though. Okay. Not that bad either, actually, considering the bounty hunter. Usually it's level 3 Janata where your gold steal becomes actually considerable. It's half a last hit after all. More or less.
He does have bounty hunter into Timbersaw, which is just free gold, as we've seen before.
Yeah. But you have to go to Timbersaw's lane as well, right? The thing about bounty against Timbersaw is Timbersaw pushes, right? And bounty hunter does not. So Timbersaw just pushes the lane, leaves, and you can always play that way,
I think taking a macro focus more on the game, I think if you look at where you need this bounty to be successful is going to be off of these first couple of track kills, right? You need this bounty to speed up the game for you, so you guys, you guys being BetBoom, can actually fight into this Ag Scepter timing, and better team fight, honestly, that Na'Vi are proposing. You kind of need a little bit of a snowbally start, a little bit of bonus gold here on all of your heroes from those track kills. They just have to be on the money.
Okay, no one. There's an avalanche there. Curse dive on top of that. Sweden strong nearby. Gilger. However, he's going to get away, and in fact, there's now no one who's in trouble. Starts hitting the Coddle as double damage, but nice blinding light, sending him back into the Illuminate. They need one more stun. Coddle doesn't do enough. Gilger runs towards him, gets disposed of, but dies before he could kill the Tiny. Gilger will feed first blood over to no one, as no one dies to Laurel. I think that's overall not that bad a trade for Na'Vi, considering how many resources were put in this mid lane and what they accomplished, which is first blood.
Yep, nope, not bad at all. Especially because they do get the first blood, which, 6 minutes in is a little bit less meaningful when you get it before the horn, as the bonus gold is, not huge, but it'll make a little bit of a difference for mid lane Tiny, especially when his first item is going to be, well, probably Blink Dagger, but Power Trits first into the full wand.
Definitely Blink Dagger,
Okay, there's level 6 for Dahawk.
In the bottom lane, he could be in trouble. They have disposed in 6 seconds. Never mind, I spoke too soon. Gilger has a rebound though, so if Lay stays here a little bit too long, they won't punish this.
Who is in mid lane going to be taking a death as they give it to Soneko.
No one. He's coming for this, but he knows Laurel can always just turn into spirit form, blinding light him away. Doesn't want to get beat a second time, so he won't be too greedy.
The fights between Gilger and Sweden Strong continue, as Gilger does at least take down an Observer Ward. That's pretty good. I think that was a fresh Observer. So it's going to be, a little bit of a blind spot for Na'Vi, or one less aggressive ward that they can place, as they look a second time here for Lays. Big ol' Soul Assumption, just level 1, but it's really the damage from Laurel that is going to net them the kill.
Time to push this tower down now. BetBoom. Honestly, not that bad showing by the Hawk's Visage for now. I mean, he's just playing offlane Visage, but I'll take it at this point. Bounty Hunter can be... We have seen carry Bounty Hunter from Tundra before. Watch Notice go.
Yeah, I mean, first item drums I think is a little bit peculiar still, I will add, right? For the Visage. He does really like to go for the Tranquils into Boots of Bearing as like a third item usually on the Visage, assuming his build is still quite similar to what he likes to go for. But we'll see what his first item is going to be, as in the river. So Neko is going to take a death.
Notice wants to fight this, but unfortunately hasn't dealt enough damage just yet. He needs the help from Laurel.
Money.
They go for the easier kill on Solo because he's also tracked, but notice he wants the big one. He wants no one. Fortunately,
More money.
they don't really have anything for it. And in fact, he's gonna take a large amount of damage with the Avatos. No one though, really low on HP, underestimated the Cuddle Blast, as no one will die to one more hit. The attack speed slow won't matter. Shuriken will gather the kill. More Treco for Notice, who just runs away from all these track targets. And now the CM could also be in trouble herself. Solo gets finished off by the Illuminate. And this track is working out for them. The tempo is strong.
This is the dream, right? Like that's what I was talking about. It needed to be like this for Bounty Hunter. I'm really happy that BetBoom acknowledged this. Notice really even I would say goes as far as to forcing that kind of encounter, right? Just persistent on tailing the Tiny and eventually really cutting through him there. Tiny was level 7, right? So it's not like he has 0 armor and he's incredibly weak to the Zenyatta damage. It just adds up, man.
I think it's very impressive as well. Yeah, I agree that the movements of BetBoom have been strong. Their laning phase was well fixed, I guess, by the way that they changed their lanes. Even if they didn't get the desired matchups, you know, allowing the Bounty Hunter to have more prevalence by being in the safe lane will definitely help out, as he's not going for Hood. And after that team fight, I don't know if you saw, but Notice was so excited about the team fight that he actually put Ags in his quick buy twice.
He's like, yes, Ag Scepter. I can't wait for Zenyatta to bounce and steal so much money. I mean, he's rich.
I see the cookie here from Suneko. As a Vatoon, unfortunately, not going to give him any chance to run away.
Nope, not at all. Things will become a little bit more difficult, though, when Na'Vi actually hits 6 on their supports, right? That fight simply doesn't happen if there's a Supernova, because BetBoom just have to turn tail and run. But that is, of course, the advantage of this earlier tempo that BetBoom were proposing with some stronger laners, especially with the Marcy and the Snapfire on their skills alone. So well played there, and bottom tower is going to go down. Na'Vi, they just need to make a concerted push for the top tower, but right now Vatoon's farming a nice little small stack here. Vanguard first item for him, and then the Hood of Defiance. So now he really does not care about Visage Familiars.
Yeah, the Ag is still going to come a little bit later, though, and that's going to be what they fight around, right? So is there any other items that you can fight around? Lays, perhaps? Once he gets his Hood, might be a small point inflection.
Yeah, no one blink. He'll have it. Probably have used it a couple times already by then. It's basically going to be it, I suppose. Maybe a Kaya.
Top of Timber Chain. He has that Solar Bind on him, though, so he need a little more magical damage, and unfortunately, they're not going to find it. Even if Coddle Blast hits, Gilgir will die in the middle of this, and no one with a Haste Rune. He's scary. He's looking for Laurel, or is he looking for the Hawk? He's actually looking for Manda right now.
Yeah.
Found it, thanks to the bottle sips. The Hawk's the target. Grave Chill won't annoy no one too much, but the attack speed got slowed.
The Hawk did lose one of his familiars here. Resummons the 2 as he's going to look for the permanent stuns onto no one. A nice avalanche, though, is going to interrupt this. But no attack speed there for no one, as he is going to fall. And the kisses from Suneko puts a very good use.
And notice there's farming up now on this Bounty Hunter. It's first item, point booster already completed from the Axe, and he's closing in on the second part of this recipe. That is going to be a huge point of inflection of BetBoom. If you can get an early Axe on Bounty Hunter, it is ridiculous, honestly.
Money.
I mean, yeah, not just money, right? The burst damage, especially on heroes like CM or Phoenix, they just get, like, seriously, one shirt.
This is maybe a kill. Laurel does a really nice play there on the Blinding Light because, of course, Maiden, her ulti does center around her. So at least that gets him out of the AoE faster. Lays over mid lane, looking to try and defend this tower. Seeing the TP in as well now from the Bristleback. Vatoon already dispatching the tier 1 tower. Looking to be a bit more active with the rest of his team. That is a level 1 Sunray as it's maxing of the Fire Spirits. Don't see this too much anymore actually on the Phoenix. It used to be a little bit more Sunray, then lots of people were liking the Icarus dive for the move speed slow talents, but 1-4-1 right now for the Phoenix, but has the egg most importantly for this upcoming skirmish if BetBoom persists.
No one. No, it's close, but Vessel didn't really take him down entirely. However, Track is giving vision, so BetBoom can keep tabs on the enemy here. Noticed, thinking about just stealing a little more gold from Lays, but no point in stealing gold if you're going to die right afterwards. As the Hawk is building his favorite build, which is the AC straight up for the Visage. I think he likes this more than the Orchid Ags that some other Visages prefer, actually. Carry Visages, mind you.
Yeah.
It's the best farming build, mind you.
Yeah, just take a look at the Dota2 Pro Tracker here. Maxing Fire Spirits is still not the most common. It looks ability.
What, for Phoenix?
Build. Yeah, for Phoenix. But not a lot of
Yeah,
Phoenix
100%.
games to pull off of.
No, I think it's still the best build. Like, occasionally I can see Sunray, but definitely not this game, right? Like, if you're up against a BB, maybe, but I still think Fire Spirits is by far your best scaling ability.
Yeah, I think the cooldown as well makes it quite nice for that. Sunray after. Yeah, okay. So it looks like
the
that was
damage
just...
skills ridiculous.
Looks like it was just a little bit of an experimentation period with Icarus Dive on the 25 and the 10 talent. Sorry, that 50% move speed slow was pretty good in some matches, but of course the eggs have got to be really good this game against a Marcy and a Snapfire. As here goes Natus at the top lane. Vatoon's a hard target.
Yeah, he is. There's still maybe some gold. Oh no, they're committing to it. Mortimer's kisses. Shuriken to slow him a little bit further. We need the rebound. Marcy, okay, they send him back, and with the unleash, they kill him. Vatoon's down. A little bit more track gold. Gilger is accepting his death. He's happy with this as long as they manage to finish off the Bristle. As that bounty hunter axe is closing in, Richie.
Which means money.
Again, the damage is the big deal.
And
the money is nice.
Money.
The damage is honestly huge this game against, like, CM, Phoenix. You burst them down. Tiny actually has low armor. Janata's or low armor.
And what's really nice as well, and I think an underutilized aspect of this Ag Scepter is that you do get money. 36 on every single toss, every single target does add up. Have a toss though, the Blink Dagger from no one onto Net the McKill here onto Laurel. A cookie stun is not going to get him out of this one. Good Strong even committing the Sunray here as they chase for more. Vatoon though, without the Ag Scepter, can only be limited to one target on the Viscous Nasal Goo, and Gilger is going to be able to get himself out. But no one goes for another jump with the minus armor applied. Gilger ought to make an easy target, cannot rebound away from the Frostbite. That should be the tower then for Na'Vi in the mid lane.
It's a great way to play against Bounty, right? Reduce their map. They're not fast farmers in general, so make sure you can take over, make sure you can win these fights, take over the enemy jungle now. That's exactly what no one is going to be doing. He also gets the bounty rule, right? The less map they have to play with, the harder it is to get these tracks to be effective, the harder it is to get the right initiations, the harder it is to utilize vision effectively, of course. So it is something that Na'Vi can play around here with that Blink Dagger timing on the Tiny we talked about earlier, and now the Sanj as well on Blaze. Usually Timbersaws go for Kaya early because you need the mana, but this game the Sanj will make him much tankier. And they need that against this Vessel. We're seeing it. Lays.
Money.
Yeah. I think we need to ban that word. We need to ban that word.
Alright, that's fine. Notice is getting pretty close to completing the Ag Scepter, which means that whenever he throws it, he's going to be stealing a nice amount of dosh from his enemies.
That word was banned the moment we started casting together 3 years ago. I'm sorry I didn't inform you about that. I'll take gold.
Gold is
that's your allowance for today.
No one?
Oh, Mortimer's kisses. No one. And I think he's gonna die to the Mortimer's kisses. There's the money that Richie was talking about. Solo dies too. And they're gonna fight Swedish Strikers that already got cancelled. At least he has the egg, but I don't know if he wants to commit it here. And there, the Hawk Familiars are chasing Swedish Strong down. They're actually gonna not force the Supernova nor his life. There we go, Supernova forced.
Oh, he's got Shard.
He has the Shard too, and he kicks him out. BetBoom is forced to retreat. They can't kill the Phoenix after all. Wow.
Very good though. I mean, that's 2 track kills already for the team. So Notice very much in good position. He's managing to, based on track kills alone, of course, because now Bounty does not farm very well, quite famously. He's actually still out farming, or is keeping pace now with Vatoon, I should say, as Vatoon is just going to start to overtake him now.
Watch him try to kill a golem camp, man.
Yeah, it's a little sad. It's a little sad, but he's so close now. Just needs the Staff of Wizardry, 400 gold away, and he does have that Ag Scepter. Very, very big point, of course. Not only for the gold you steal, but of course also for all the points that you make, especially against these squishy heroes. Maiden and Phoenix, extremely vulnerable to a random Shuriken flying around in these fights.
Of course. BetBoom. Okay, they might be thinking of a... No. They saw someone bottom no one particularly, and...
Oh, that's a neat little strategy. The sidekick onto the familiars. Yeah, I've seen rebounding familiars.
Oh, you haven't seen the psychic familiars?
No, I've seen it. I've seen it with Bear, right?
I don't know if... Maybe I wasn't casting with you, but then, yeah, there was... It's been seen in a couple of games, right? Psychic with units in general was strong, but that was, I think, one of the first strategies that we saw, right? Because the attack speed is nice with the familiars.
Yeah, and we were coming off the Stockholm Major, where Visage was the hero of the month.
Exactly. And it's also the fact that you you can just throw familiars into towers, right? And not really worry with Psychic, and as gives you really consistent high ground push. Good farming speed as well. I think that's why he's maxing the Psychic this game, honestly.
Radiant are
It's good. It's good with Bounty as well. Like it's good with Visage overall, but I think it's the familiars.
Speaking of
Good
bounty,
with Laurel.
there it is, flying his
This'll
way.
come in handy.
Yeah, acceptor.
Alright.
I'm excited for this. I feel like I don't usually see the bounties actually get this item in time. We always speak about how this item could be good and would be detrimental to the enemy cores and is going to kill supports, and then like comes online and enemies already don't care. But here it is, and I think they're gonna smoke off of this. Or they're just going to awkwardly stick around in a circle. So, Neko, you have the smoke. What are we doing, boys? Oh, it's coming? Is there another item coming? Oh, there is. Okay. Essence ring. Sure. Now we go. All right. They're just going to send in Noticed to do it the old-fashioned way under the cover of the Shadow Walk. There's a sentry, though, right next to where Solo is standing. The Hawk Familiar is going first, but they instead have their eyes set on the Tier 1 tower in the mid lane.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant structures are
Noticed.
fortified.
Can act as the moving ward
Dire's
here.
top tower is under attack. Radiant's
They're
middle
afraid,
tower
right? Because
has
if
fallen.
Notice catches you, now that they know the Axe probably is online, you just lose the fight. So Navi has to play extra defensive right now. You don't
Now
want
they
to
know
get
the
a bunch
Axe
of
is
track
online. He's just walked through the ward.
Okay,
Sure.
good.
So someone should have clicked on him and scouted it. He has Shard coming as well. Shard's actually, I think, the big difference maker for Notice. It just allows you to be super tanky in the middle of the fight. A little cheeky stun as well on the outsets of the Skeleton Walk. Sorry, of the Shadow Walk. Completely different ability.
Yeah, one gets movement speed, the other one now gives damage resist? Oh, not yet. Gotta get
Not
the
yet.
Shard next. Hype Shard though. This Shard is actually almost as hype as the Axe actually. It makes you so tanky.
Whoa. Good move in there by Gilger as he looks to try and find a target, but he's created enough space for them to feel confident enough to go into Roche.
Do they have level 15? No, not yet on Visage. But the AC should be enough. Blaze, okay. Found out. There's the double Janata hitting him. And with the Vessel plus the Solar Pine, in addition to the Illuminate, they'll be able to finish him off.
Lots of money. That's also Soneko having Shard online, right? I think, as you said. So that's a pretty major statement here as BetBoom looks to finish off Roche.
I lose my mind, Richie. I need to be able to last another best of 3 with you, mate.
What do you mean?
I hope they don't pick Bounty Hunter ever again.
What? He's got this. It's good. Lots of money in the bank already. Oh, they give him Aegis. All right.
Wow.
You know what that's for?
They say it.
It's so he could steal some more money in these fights. Absolutely. I can't wait. I mean, he's gonna have. I think the record I saw personally at the Riyadh Masters was 3,000 gold stolen across a 51-minute game, which was a loss, I believe.
Yeah.
I reckon he's probably about 800 gold in so far already.
I think he paid for his own Axe, right? That was the
No, it was
Like the
3,050 gold. I remember the number exactly. I don't remember why.
Was that actually the record specifically?
I believe that was probably the because it didn't win, right? I don't think the
No, it
bounty
didn't win.
ever won.
Well, yeah, it did win when Collapse played it. Team Spirit won
Oh,
once and then
okay.
lost twice, if I recall correctly.
Then maybe that's not the record at Riyadh Masters. That was the one I saw in the last time we saw it.
I remember once I was like 5,600 something like that.
Scanning.
That's a
Ridiculous,
lot. That's a
honestly.
lot of money.
I mean, if you if you can pay for your own Axe, right? It's just like glorified Midas here. I think Shard though is a big. I'm surprised by the Aegis though. Let's be honest. I think that
Yes.
this goes to show what we were talking about the whole time about Visage not really being the real win condition because they know Visage is not is a little bit countered, so it's really about the Bounty Hunter. On top of that, I don't think Visage needs to go high ground if this happens, right? With Bounty will because he's the
That's
melee
true.
hero.
Yeah, that's very true. Especially now with the AC Aura online, Visage just needs to stand basically in range of Gravekeeper's Cloak when he sends the
Radiant's
Familiars
bottom
off to
tower
Siege.
is
As you can
under
see here,
attack.
he's doing just that, and
Radiant
even getting a little bit of auto
structures
attack
are
damage
fortified.
himself because he does have now the 1.5 armor corruption talent taken. So he is also increasing the push speed. It's pretty big minus armor.
Radiant's
Yeah.
bottom
You can
tower
Janata
is
towers,
under
just you
attack.
noticed, right? All you need to do is make it so it's autocast, right?
Radiant's
And
bottom
that also gives you a
tower
fair amount of
has
pushing power in Bounty Hunters. You know, it's respectable damage.
It's really good. What is this? Minus 5 armor, and then a total of minus 4.5, right, on these birds. So it's close to minus 10 armor already on the structures. It's significant. This is a very fast push. But the Acceptor's online now for Bristle. And here he goes. They couldn't get it online in time to fight for the tier 2 tower, and instead they're going to fight in the river, where he is going to be bullwhipped. Money beginning to be stolen, however, by Natus.
How much money's been stolen in this money pit of a fight, Richie?
So far,
Tell
only
me.
36 gold. I think he's
What's
ready
the money
to...
report?
There he is. That's another track. Looking for perhaps a couple more here, but just knowing where the Bristle is in these fights is good intel enough.
Yep.
Oh, he's got another
Oh,
target.
he's gonna fight Lays too. Look at that.
Oh, yeah. That's what you're looking for. Another shuriken.
Oh
100
yeah,
gold.
more
Oh,
gold. Lays out of gold. And now they've broken the piggyback too. Solo.
Track kill.
He is trying to run away with
That's a
big ball,
kill.
but it's not gonna work.
More money.
Vatoon is also in trouble himself, but he's tanky enough, I think, to survive this. The familiar stun no one. However, they continue with the cookie. Vatoon activates that BKB. Now with the Acceptor and Viscous Goo slowing everyone down, so Mako will fall. The Hawk trying to deal damage to Vatoon, but the physical damage is just not high enough. Vatoon being wary of that BKB timing. Oh, did he use two shurikens right after
nicely
another?
done. The shuriken. That's 2 kills right there on shuriken toss
Wow.
alone. This Acceptor really coming in handy. I'm not even memeing anymore. That was huge in this fight.
Right? I told you the
that's
damage.
really what got him the win.
I told you the damage is ridiculous on the side of him. And CM is just fodder, dude. Like, what is she supposed to do? You also can't Freezing Field, because Shuriken obviously stuns you, so...
Yeah.
And you can't, like, Glimmer Cape or anything. You essentially have to BKB just to Freezing Field this game.
He's got so much. He has so much gold.
So
in
much
that
money.
fight.
There you go.
It's
At
actually-
this point, whatever. That's the word of the cast.
I'm even now, to be honest, like completely surprised by how well that worked out from them. A smoke play as well. They do see the bounty hunter, but they don't see quite yet the Marcy, who's got a blink and is going to go uphill here against Sweet and Strong. Yes, indeed, cancels Icarus dive with the dispose. See you later. Another track kill here for Natus.
They are snowballing out of control here, and Navi needs to find a way to stop them. Their counter initiation should be good with the Phoenix, but because these two supports are so easy to kill,
Radiant's middle
they
tower
don't
is
really
under
have it as
attack.
much. And the rest of their heroes, they lack a little bit of team fight. They're more about consistent long fights, right? Tiny wants to get a couple Avatosses out. He just gets bursted down. He never gets that chance. And Track also nullifies the effect of his Blink Dagger by a large margin. Because they always know where he is.
An annoyed bounty hunter as well, right? He's just constantly stealing a little bit of your gold, throwing money
Radiant's
around the
middle
fights, but
tower
also
is
Throwing it, yep.
you know, just these mini stuns, this big burst of damage.
Radiant's middle
It's,
tower
it's getting
has
pretty
fallen.
bad. He's about to get a BKB. Barely had money for Shard, what, 5 minutes ago when he claimed Aegis. 4,000 gold by hitting basically no creeps.
Radiant's
Very
turret
impressive.
has been
He
killed.
did get a bunch of track kills, though, so that's...
Well, I mean,
he's
yes,
not just a
exactly.
Janata.
And Genyatta, right? But
BKB is going to come out and Coddle 2 soon, by the way. That's really close
Radiant's
by,
top tower
as the
is
Hawk is
under
finishing up the
attack.
Ags. He has like this build a lot, right? Like a third, fourth item Ags after getting these aura items.
Giant
Usually we see Boots of Bearing before that, but he decided to go for Treads this game.
yeah, quite curious, right? Especially with the drums. I wonder if he's going to decide to switch that up, or what the decision was in going for the power treads this game over the tranquils. I
Radiant's
think
top tower
usually he
under
never
attack.
like buys tranquils, you know. First he'll just ignore them, and then
Radiant's
when he
top
wants
tower
boots of bearings, he'll
has
upgrade, you know, the tranquils at that time just to save a little bit of extra gold. But he decides that the stats are worth it this game. A little bit of extra HP here, 200 HP, and to be in fact, you know, never hurt anyone. If anything, it might even keep him alive. Bounty is returning to the fray, BKB in hand. No Aegis, however, that's been reclaimed after timing out, but 2 tier 2 towers have been
Radiant
taken, and
are
BetBoom
scanning.
continue to look to apply the Vice Grip here onto Navi. They set up in the enemy secret shop.
Radiant's top tower is under
Trying to take
attack.
over the triangle. And they're going to see Navi growing into that triangle as well. They're trying to defend their own safe farm. Notice, though, is the Nuisance here. He's really hard to be killed because his damage resist, so it's not like he's an easy target to go on either.
Radiant's top tower
And the
has
tracks
fallen.
make sure that there's no surprise plays by Navi either.
But Navi now holding the cliff ward makes it very difficult for Natus to approach. They don't quite see him all the way on the edge of the ward. You only see him, of course, on the sentry range. Around here, so he still is able to poke and prod from a distance, and now they'll just send the Dahawk. Familiars forward. Dahawk does not. He does have a shard, and he needs to get it off, but he's rooted, but he's still gets it off. A perfect supernova placement, though, on the high ground. They have vision of the egg, and they've scrambled it. The Hawk is now coming in out of the stone form, but into a world of pain. Dispose does create a little bit of a distance for him as the toss back. It's still not enough damage. The Hawk still alive in the fights. No one looks like he's going to drop, but finally gets off the avalanche. That'll condemn the Hawk as well as Seneko. Gilger now in a bit of an awkward spot. However, now the Zenyatta bounces, and the Shuriken bounces, rather, are popping off a little bit. That's going to be a kill onto Lays. Wicked 6 streak now for Natus, 7-0-7 on the Bounty Hunter. But it seems to be damage issues here coming when it matters on the Bristleback with 2 and 3 in this fight.
Sure, yeah, they rely on the Coddle as well to get that damage into the Bristle, and it's really just Natus than Coddle, right? The Visage is more of a tank almost at this point. Mind you, I think the initiation was pretty good. They did kill both cores, and they were kind of tanky here, so it's not entirely that bad for BetBoom. Well, they can't lose steam, you know, it's full steam ahead is the name of the game for BetBoom here. And the moment they start dropping a little bit, Navi can regain control of the game with a more traditional setup in their cores. And by traditional, I mean they actually have a carry.
Yeah, very, very, very true. The gold change, though, is still fairly neutral overall. Of course, with a couple of track kills involved, but it's not like Navi are completely out of the woods yet, especially because, as we can see now, Dahak has finished up the Egg Scepter. Silence has the Grave, flying movement speed, not flying vision, I think actually doesn't get full flying vision, that would be really crazy. But he does get now 35% bonus damage for, I think it's like 4 seconds after he comes out of this thing. Yeah, it's really good, 30% bonus damage. Movement speed as well, ain't bad. And it's going to allow him to fly around the edge of these fights and try and get a good initiation. I do believe, though, that they lost a gem. I saw that on Dahak earlier, and now it's on Swedenstrong, who did buy back in that fight. The gem has been turned over.
The checking Roche again. Oh, that makes sense. Okay, I kept thinking why the Shuriken... Right, it's the constant chakra magic in the Notice that's leading to so many Shurikens.
Oh!
Yeah, I don't know why we didn't talk about that.
That's a lot of money.
I just noticed. It's a lot of Shurikens too, right? Many ninjas around the world will be happy. Oh, Abba? No toss. There's the toss. Once again for the Hawk. Has to use the Stone Form. I think it worked out for him, but the Supernova makes it difficult for BetBoom to play around the Hawk here. As he just wants to get away, he's gonna try to be helped by the Dispose, but they stop it somehow with a Frostbite as well. They just want to finish off the Hawk, and they do. And essentially lose solo, but Batoon is unstoppable here. He just actually TPs, might want to cancel it. No. And besides, it's over for him.
Yeah, no, he does not. The damage is too high. Both of the supports remaining were tracked. Actually, Natus just runs at the Maiden and slices and dices right through no one. Natus is maybe the win condition now this game, actually, with the amount of kills that he's given and how free he is this game. He doesn't mind throwing a Shuriken at himself, as you can see. Nice Lotus, though, does at least apply a little bit of the damage, or negate a bit of the damage coming through. So many Zenyatas. He's got another Shuriken here in a couple of seconds, but doesn't have the track on the Swedenstrong, so it won't be too bad. Oh, just up the hill, don't mind me. The Hawk, his familiar, is going to die. He's now just watching.
Lays is almost dying here, notice? At least he dispelled the track though, so that means no more Shurikens for him. Notice?
For now.
He's trying to get the bounce here. Is that enough to kill the Phoenix? No. Even with a second one, I don't think he dies here.
Will he track himself for this? Yep.
I think it's worth. Yep, Illuminate will hit,
nice.
And that's track gold given to Bounty.
That's incredible. Oh, wow, this is really working out for them. Yeah, you're right. I think it is really a lot to do about this chakra magic. You're completely correct. 18k net worth lead now. They recover the gem with that kill, and right into Roche they will go. Dog with the familiars back online. AC, there's even a... No, that's just the little shredder debuff, I should say. But lots of minus armor anyway for Roche, and that's going to be Roche number 2 easily here for Hellraisers. That Stone Form shard has been super good for Dahak, and in fact, now he's going to claim the second Aegis. Shard...
Sorry,
for who? Sorry.
I didn't... Seneko?
I think he had his. Marcy has shard now.
Oh, okay, so Marcy. Interesting choice. You can see how that rebound works here. I wonder who they're going to throw in or throw out, I guess. Oh, it's probably the Hawk, right?
I agree.
Because we've seen really good initiation from Navi. In case people were not aware, you can't really supernova the middle of these team fights because there's a Snapfire, so what they've been doing instead is trying to set up on the Hawk. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, they're trying to set up on the Hawk with a really defensive supernova, which is a good choice to make use of the Phoenix here. And it's actually been a nuisance, which is why killing Phoenix there was actually kind of impactful. Oh, killing solo, not so important though.
No.
But it's still a kill. But obviously the dispose here, or the rebound now with the shard, will hopefully save the Hawk from this super defensive supernova.
Yeah, I agree. I completely agree. It'll also make it a bit more difficult for Bristle to kind of get really, really great positioning against him, because that is one of the downsides, obviously, of these kind of immunity periods in the game, whether it be, you know, just a Shadow Demon Disruption, or no Astral, right? It does allow enemies to set up very nicely around you. So the fact that you can change that on a dime now from good range with Rebound is going to be quite powerful. You'll notice if he has it on, because you toggle it via autocast, which is the little yellow border here around the ability, which also is the same here for Ginata and other things like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Radiant are scanning.
Though in this case, it's like similar to Acorn Shot, right? Where if you autocast, it changes how the spell works.
Yep, very true. Yep.
Yeah. It is weird that autocast got used that way, because autocast used to just be like, all right, now either I attack and it uses it, or I don't attack it as a user. That used to be pretty much the only effect.
Yeah, but they give a little bit of flexibility, which I enjoyed against like
Yeah, me
Geminate
too.
for a Geminate attack. I think it just increases the skill ceiling. I don't see any downsides to it.
Okay, so Neko will get away, thanks to that rebound movement speed. Then they actually got a really nice stun here, which they can play around. Laze is getting destroyed by the magical damage.
Oh my
Spirit
gosh.
Vessel would have killed him anyway, but they got him with Illuminate as they
Wow.
also finish off no one. Activates the BKB, a little more physical damage. It's going to be so Neko brings him down, taking off a center as well in the middle of the fight as they tear through Solo.
Radiant's bottom tower
Who I
is
think,
under
no, he didn't die
attack.
twice. He only died once in this fight. Literally revived himself to die after that death in the
Look
bottom
at
lane.
the, I mean, I'm not memeing. This damage is incredible. 5,300 damage. That's all bounty in this fight.
Yep. Obviously, the amplification from the Coddle helps a lot, of course. The Shuriken does crit, right, with that track.
Yeah.
And that Solar Blind amplifies that crit.
He's just a menace right now, stealing everyone's money. There he goes. Bristleback's money has belonged to him. With the BKB, notice actually might have been off a bit more than he could chew. Cookie out, though. Gets him off the high ground at least.
Well done. They have a lot of repositioning now between the Marcy Shard and obviously the Cookie,
He's got
so they can play a little
Lotus.
bit more aggressively. They don't care about the Lotus anymore, right? They're just throwing the Shuriken straight
Oh,
at
sorry.
him.
He's got Octarine Core on bounty is what I meant to
Yeah,
say.
he does. That is the build. That is the build on the bounty these days. There's the Hawk. Gets a nice little stun, which Condemn Suite is strong. No more defensive supernovas here. Should give you enough time to push out these racks. That's exactly what they're going to do here for
Radiant's
BetBoom.
middle barracks
Oh yeah,
is
and the
falling.
push still, of course, it's not coming from Bounty, it's coming from Dahawk at this stage. That's going to be now one full lane of barracks gone and deleted. Phoenix dead for 30 seconds. No one's still looking for a toss back, but it's BetBoom who continue to siege as they set up some vision and will silence the Grave Wolf to kick off the fight.
They find no one, but they just don't have any follow-up just yet. They don't use the familiars. There's the familiar stun. All for
Oh no,
the
made it.
Timber.
Okay, good smoke. Solo almost died. He would have died to that, and as with the Tiny, but it does mean that they've got to have to give up position here on the tower. Oh my goodness, this is crazy.
The Hawk
Plus
will be
50
taking
gold
his racks now.
Ginata steal.
Yeah, he did. He went for it. He wants to get the good stats towards the end of it. Bitoon, that's no BKB. They have to be careful. This was the Tiny. He does his own BKB. Will be forced to activate it here, unless he wants to die. As Laze is the next target for these Mortimer's Kisses. They have tracked himself, though, notice. Thanks to Lotus Orb, so Neko in trouble. So Neko's going to die to the Fire Spirits, but he doesn't suppose Bitoon. There's the defensive supernova we're talking about. BetBoom is on the retreat. They do not want to fight this just yet. In fact, they're just looking to reinitiate here. That's BetBoom. They know
They're
there's no
going in.
supernova, there's no BKBs. They can just go in. This himself doesn't really matter. So he's trying to get bursted down. Solo with a freezing field, though. Notice could die this. The Shuriken finishes off Solo, but in exchange for Notice means they lack their big damage shorts. And now it could be Laurel who falls as well, but he's capable of running away. With the help of that rebound, he should reconsider. There's back from Bounty Hunter, though.
No.
It seems like BetBoom's
Who's a
not
bearing?
done. They want to go for it. The spells on Laze once again. The Spirit Vessel on top of that. Laze is looking for a tree. He can't find it. He gets stunned because of familiars. Laze is down. No buyback for him either. Used it earlier in the previous fight.
And now things are getting really difficult. Dahawk will lose his Aegis. He did actually end up buying and upgrading into boots and bearings. So he's got two pairs of boots, one for him, one for the familiars. But down goes then the bottom lane of barracks. Only top remains. No tower either to protect Navi from the threat of Megas, and with a dead Timbersaw here for 70 seconds without buyback, this might very well be Megas coming the way here in favor of BetBoom. First death as well for Noticed as he goes 9-1 and 15, I believe. He dies before he gets that kill onto the Maiden. Timeless Relic, are you kidding me? That might be for Noticed. Yes, indeed it is. Straight into his neutral item slot.
Yes. Good choice. Wait till it gets that level 25 shuriken toss charges, man.
Dire's structures are fortified.
It's gonna be a ball for them.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
There they
Gilger
go.
with the Aetherlins. No one again. Gilger tries to get away, forced them to help him.
Big
Good
avalanche.
though, and they do get Soneko with it.
Okay.
Now it's a freer Phoenix game, but there is no Supernova just yet. 7 seconds for it. I think BetBoom needs to acknowledge this is a little bit scarier and probably just retreat here. Fully retreat, not to re-engage, unless no one wants to commit suicide. No one! He went in
He's
solo!
gonna regret that.
And Solo's not with him!
No track kill at least, but the gold's not going to make too big of a difference. It's more of the Tiny now being dead for 70 seconds.
You gave him a chance now.
Yep.
Supernova's not that scary
The
anymore.
Hawk has no familiars for 10 seconds, however. He did lose those 200 gold to Vitoon, but he's going to have now almost 3 up. He's nearly at 25. He had a chance to the X-Scepter, of course, a while ago. As now, oh my goodness, the damage on the Lays! He's got the Lotus and does manage to just barely get back thanks to a great Timber Train as Vitoon. He's going to now charge back on and make a little bit of space for his team. Natus continuing to apply plenty of damage with the
they killed him.
There's going to be a kill onto the Phoenix, almost from full HP. Laurel blasting him with the Illuminate.
No. He was actually low, but he was trying to get the Supernova off in the middle of the fight. That's why he died there. And now you have no Supernova, which means like the death and Snapfire doesn't really matter here. And BetBoom can just deal easily with your racks. I think this is over.
That's it, GG. More money.
Just what a strategy by BetBoom. Once again showing why this team is so creative. And kudos, we talked about this so many times, but the Hawk, when he feels like it's a bad MP, bad Visage game, and they first picked him that hero, and instead of playing that as the win condition, they give it to Natus, and that's exactly what happened here. Yes, Laurel had huge impact, fantastic by Caudle, but even